association.
It is very interesting that some of the issues you raised were issues faced by an entity called the Bahamas Business League, which was primarily an over-the-hill group of small businessmen, of which the Hasties and the ministers and all these gentlemen tried to form. And they encountered the same kinds of issues. Why do you think 40 years, almost 40 years in the independence, you're still facing these kinds of issues?
Well, Mr. Eunice, brilliant question. Back to the question of the we. The Chamber of Commerce, as in most democratic country, has a role to play. Outside of that, the issues that we speak about is because we are in the trenches. We're the ones that have the bullets flying around our head. We're the ones that know when we go into the banking community with all the things on top of the tables being met, we still get, for too many of my members, no. We're the ones that when we go in to see the government on issues that are pertinent to our business, to our country, we don't get the type of cooperation that we should get. We're the ones that when we have plans to employ our people, don't see the same type of support that others get. Now, the we is this. What we've missed in the past that I think this association has caught on to is there is strength in unity. When I first approached Mr. Davis and Mr. Johnson about establishing this organization, they referred me to a scripture passage in the book of Genesis. I think it's Genesis 11:6. There was a principle there. There's a principle there that the Creator said, if these people get together as one, He said, there is nothing no one can do to stop them. He further speaks about this principle in the New Testament, for those persons that New Testament, Old Testament issues, in Acts 4:32 through 37. And he talks about when all people work together as one, they had lack of nothing. Our focus on the we is, we all have the same causes, we all have the same concerns, we have all the same matters that need to be addressed. When we come together as the we, as the oneness, and we see ourselves as equal, as valuable contributors to this great nation, we can do things beyond our wildest dream.
How do you become a part of the Bahamas Business Association?
Well, we have a criteria in place. First of all, the initial criteria is you must be a licensed business in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The other key criteria is we've set initially any organization with 100 or less employees is eligible to become a part of the organization. We have several other key criteria that we look for, but that's the first two things we ask everybody to do in becoming a part of the association.
Godfrey mentioned the Bahamas Business League, and there were some other organizations formed over the years, the Bahamas Employers Confederation,
yes.
And of course we mentioned the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. What would be the benefit of a small business operation, or a small businessman or woman becoming a part of the Bahamas Business Association? What would be the benefits there that are not attained or obtained in the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, when you look at the Bahamas Business Association, what we have in our letter of introduction is something we call 100 reasons or benefits why one ought to join the Bahamas Business Association. What we do with that concept of we is we translate that concept into tangible benefits for our members. For example, small and medium businesses have been around since when? Noah built the ark. The Chamber of Commerce have been around, maybe not as long, but for some people, they think so. Yet, today as you and I sit here, a small businessman carries the bulk of the burden in this country. Let me be specific. A small businessman individually pays a higher freight rate to bring his goods into the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. What's our benefit? We've already begun and have already gotten concessions on freight rates. Any member of the association that follows, that becomes a part of the association, we are assuring him an immediate benefit, reduced freight rates. In addition, if you're a small business person in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you are laboring under a misconception. There's a myth that says, get into business, be your own boss, do it yourself. Well, that's fine and good if you got 330 million people to do business with. But individually, you don't get the same benefits accruing to you. Another example, most small and medium-sized business right now pay higher interest rates at the bank. Why is that? Because they're an individual, 2-person, 3-person, 10-person company, and he doesn't have anybody to lobby on his behalf. One of the benefits and things that we have that we're putting in place is we're going to address that, and we've already started to change that. We've got meetings already arranged with leads, the Banking Association. Take insurance. Small business people, for the most part, don't have insurance because it's just too expensive. We've already begun discussions with the Bahamas Cooperative League. And basically, for example, if I went in to get an insurance myself as an individual, one or two things can happen. Either the cost is too high and I can take out that insurance, or if I take it out, it's going to be expensive. Part of the association is already negotiating and discussing and arranging that collectively, if you come through the association, lower insurance on your house, lower insurance on your goods coming into the country, lower insurance on public liability, employers' liability. I've said there's 100. There's 100 reasons, and we could go on and on.
We have to take a break here, and we're on the platform, and we have Marvin Smith and Selena Sweeting in this first instance as our guests today. We take this break and come right back. We're talking about the Bahamas Business Association on the platform today, and Guthrie, you have a question.
Mrs. Sweeting,
Yes.
during your initial remarks, you made some comment about women in business.
Yes.
And there's some specific aspects which affect women. Can you elaborate on women in business?
Well, from a personal perspective, we find that in terms of the business entities and the groups and government establishments and wherever you have to go to do business in banking and whatever have you, we're always considered like a second fiddle, like we bring up the rear. And I feel that we are as qualified. We're not competing to be equal to men. But from a business perspective, that's why I never use the word businesswoman. I use the word as a business person. Because I feel that we have contributions that we can make. And we are entitled to operate equally and fairly on the same playing ground as anybody else.
Why do